Hey guys, this is Chris with T3 Medias, and I'm going to do a review of, I guess, my reaction to discovering Eilish for the first time today, and because it's interesting. Now, people that know me personally know that I'm a mixed bag. I'm a potpourri. I'm an enigma, a mystery wrapped around a riddle, losing his hair, and it's bald by choice. But the cool thing about me is, at least I know that how cool I am, is that I'm not just one thing when it comes to. I have like an open relationship, an open marriage with my genres of movies and with music. So I like rap, but rap music isn't and R&B wasn't what I started off with. My mom was force feeding soft rock and to me, and when I was as I was growing up watching movies and stuff, montages of rock and roll songs and stuff. Anything with Tina Turner or anything like that was probably what was in the movies when I was growing up. So I was an interesting. It was interesting, the movies and the music that I was growing up loving, that I knew the words to. So when you get to a certain age and you're pressured to listen to what everybody else is listening to so you can fit in, at first it's like, okay, let's take a listen and see what's going on, and then you discover something else about you that you didn't know, that you weren't exposing yourself to. So when I became a rap music lover, it was Snoop Dogg at first. I stuck with what was popular at the time. It was 93, 92, and whatever. um, Boys the Men was popular, Snoop Dogg, and then when I became a Snoop Dogg fan, that was weird to say Boys to Men, because I just remember that album cover, the two album cover. So that wasn't rap, but it was still what I was listening to. And then Bone Thugs and Harmony was introduced to me, and then it all clicked. I was stuck in hip hop forever after that, because I wasn't just listening to what I thought was just popular in the rap world and what everybody was listening to. I wasn't even listening to music or Bone Thugs and Harmony's music for that reason. I listened to Bone Thugs and Harmony, and it was like they were speaking to me. It wasn't that I was trying to be on the edge of what was popular or gaining in popularity at the time. I found a group of artists who spoke to me, and it meant a lot to me, to the point that I wasn't just obsessed with Bone Thugs and Harmony. It wasn't like that. I wasn't like I was a super fan. I was one of the biggest fans. I even saw him in concert. Um, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna get everything Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm gonna dress like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm gonna talk like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm gonna rap like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm gonna do everything like Bone Thugs and Harmony. And I'm gonna change my name to Crazy Bone or anything like that. I wasn't. It wasn't like that. It was just their music spoke to me as if they wrote it and it was for me. It was just mine, and it was something that was shared throughout all over the world. Bone Thugs and Harmony fans are fans. Where they had a personal connection with their music, and it was a shared personal connection. I never felt like that again until a couple of years later, when I, by pure accident, bumped into Fiona Apple. I remember I was watching. I was semi babysitting my little cousins. They're only like a couple years younger than me, but I was old enough. I think I was within the legal age, I guess, to watch, to babysit, and they were not, so they had to be watched. And I honestly just let them frolic around the house, and I locked myself in a room that had the computer in there, and I remember doing that. And they could have been doing all kinds of bad stuff, but they were good kids, so they didn't get in trouble. And I was being a stupid teenager, locking myself. So what is a young boy that's locking himself in a bedroom that has the only internet connection in there at the time in the 90s is gonna do? That's right. I was listening to my Fiona Apple, and it was a very very intimate connection with Fiona Apple. songs like Sleep to Dream, Shadow Boxer, things like that. It was that whole album title. I had a very, very personal connection and reaction to that. So in growing in my adult years, I'm 39 years old now. I still have the brain of a 15-year-old. I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot of things. So in my adult years now, since the age of 18, for the past 20 years, whenever I would describe myself, I would say I'm a cross between Bone Thugs and Harmony and Fiona Apple. Now, add that up, right? And for years, I'd said that, and even I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what that meant, and no one in the world. There's only been a few people, like when I was dating, in a dating app or a website, people would be like, "Oh yeah, I love Fiona Apple," or "Yeah, I love Bone Thugs and Harmony." And it's interesting that you describe both of them like that and whatnot. But it was usually either one or the other. Some people would like both, but loved one or the other. They didn't love, or they didn't have that. They connected with one or the other. They didn't connect as much as I felt like I did with both. And I'm not saying that Fiona Apple and Bone Thugs are my favorite artists of all time and whatnot. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, depending on what day you catch me on. It was just that, in a nutshell, described the two sides of the coin that is Chris Fagan and the things that I like as far as music, movies, and whatnot. That was the example. Like two things that you would never, ever, ever see, put together. You got chocolate in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my chocolate. What the hell's wrong with you, right? And for years, that's how I would describe it. And I don't think I came close to kind of discovering or being introduced to other artists that kind of embodied that a little bit. The harmony, the sweet melodies, the deepness of it, the ruthlessness of it, things like that. It's in all of us, and it's an amalgam but it's never been an amalgam that I don't think has ever been perfected, and it's all subjective. It's all how there's probably an artist you can think of right now and talking about it in the comment section right now that you can give me an example of. This is a perfect example of Bone Thugs and Harmony meets Fiona Apple, and that's fine. But if I listen to it, maybe I'll agree. But I think today was the day. This morning, I think I found that artist, and it's Billie Eilish. If I'm saying it right, I'm sorry if I'm saying her last name wrong, because I did not know who this person was before today. And to be honest, I was working on with some client stuff. I'm a real estate broker and helping a client out, and closed the deal, by the way. But and also when I do my movie stuff on the side, now I'm cleaning up my thumbnails and getting things posted and things like that. I'll search through YouTube, and you'll see what's trending. And you see something like number 2 was trending was the Lion King trailer. Number 39 trending is an interview with Billie Eilish, and she's sitting with puppies, So I'm like, okay, I don't know who she is, but those puppies are adorable. And who doesn't want to look at from the thumbnail? I'm like, okay, this supermodel is chilling in some very relaxed clothing. So that's funny. And she's got this puppy pulling at her hat. That's adorable. Okay, who doesn't want to look at Princess Vanilla Vivan Sweets from Wreck-It Ralph do an interview with a puppy? Like they say, she's adorable, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna watch this. So I'm clicking on it, and I'm not really listening to what she's saying, because I'm just looking at the puppies, how they're reacting to her, how she's reacting. It's just reminding me of that commercial that I love. That's all random. The girl that talks about like she has ants in her pants and all this disturbing stuff, and then they like cue the dog, and she goes. So that's what I'm watching this for. And then like more and more, I'm like, okay, what's this supermodel or this model or whatever is going to talk about? We're going to talk about global warming and world peace, right? Let's just pageant this thing up. What are you going to do? Wow me, supermodel. Wow me. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you're not a supermodel. You're very, very pretty. Who are you? You're not a supermodel. Wait, music? You did an album? What? Okay. All right. You're still okay. You're an artist. Okay. Today's artist. All right. I'm like, I'm not trying to be that guy. My generation is over and I hate this new generation. And I got my reasons for that. But it's not, but I still believe hip hop is for the youth, by the youth. So it's all by the youth. You know, old people like me, move out of the way. Your time is done. So let the new people do their thing. But I feel like more than ever, and I literally, when I was sick, showering up and preparing the day, I think I was saying this to myself last night, monologuing to myself as I usually do. I talk to myself, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, no, every generation goes through this, and they're like, oh, everything right now is all commercialized. It all sounds the same. It's not as good as my old generation, blah, blah, blah. And it's not saying that even to kids today, like 30 years from now, they're going to be like, well, back in my day, things were on fleek and it was better. And, you know, we were dabbing and it was better. And y'all kids today don't know it's going to happen. Because even 90s babies and whatnot, we were thinking that nothing, like we were like the Matrix or whatever, nothing's going to, things can advance and get better, but I think this is the peak. We thought we were the peak of music, right? Or what things could be done. We already had the internet. Everything was already pretty much invented. Only everything that could be invented is going to be invented, and it could only be enhanced. So, but I think that the problem with this generation's music is the fact that, it's common that things will sound like them. A lot of those things will sound similar. I mean, there's a system to this in the music business. Reason why hot songs will sound alike is because, well, you might have a producer who might make a song, and then that same producer make another song for another person. He or she might be using the exact same foundation and fundamentals of that first beat for the next beat. It's a different song, but you can hear the similarities of it because there's trademarks and sounds that certain artists use. And people are like, I know who I think that's a Kanye beat or something like that, right? And there's another let's say it's two different producers. The other reason is, well, in the clubs, DJs, they're known to make music connect and flow, and you don't want to interrupt the flow. So any songs need to blend in. So a lot of songs will sound, even if it's two different artists for two different studios to make, one song will come out and another song will kind of sound like the exact same song with the same melody or beat, because that's planned. Because you want stuff, the majority of these people are going to hear these things on the radio and in the clubs, and you want these parties to vibe. You don't want a screech in the road, or in the system when you dancing, and all of a sudden you're listening to a polka song. That's gonna mess you up. You're gonna leave. So things have to flow well, and DJs like that. That's why mixing is so popular, right? Because things have to flow and mix, and energy flows where intention and attention goes. And but no more than ever in this generation does things, ever since the rise of mumble rap. I mean, you expect, whoever invented mumble rap, whoever that person is, I know people argue this guy invented, that guy invented, but whoever it's definitive that this is the father of mumble rap, this person should be a billionaire today. Because there's, other artists back in the 90s, 2000s and whatnot, people would make similar, NSYNC and Backstreet, artists would make similar sounding music, right? But it's straight up like on purpose today. It's purposely being copied. Purposely. Everybody sounds like they're all on the same album. And that's what people are getting us annoyed by. So the person who invented, whoever in the end of the day is credited for inventing mumble rap, you should be a billionaire right now, because so many people are ripping you off right now. It's ridiculous, and it's all happening in plain sight. And it's not just for the sake of the clubs and the radios to flow. It's because now that, thanks to social media, attention spans have gotten shorter, songs are shorter, there's more gaps to fill up, and so just fill it up with all this similar sounding music, and it's like it's just so saturated. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this generation is doomed for this. It's going to take a shock to the system to shake all this up. And then today I was introduced to Billie Eilish. And I gotta say, I didn't even really listen to much of her music. I listened to her talk, especially on the reaction videos. You know, you got FBE YouTube channel. I watched the first thing I watched was not teens or adults react to her. I watched her reacting to them first, because I was, for some reason, that first interview with the puppies that came out today led me to want to listen to her speak on another topic. And I was like, there's something here. Wait, I'm getting that feeling again. And you know, and at my age is creepy, so no, not like that. Like, despite the fact that she's a very pretty young girl, my time is done. I'm old. If I was 19 years old again, I'd be like, please be my girlfriend. But now I'm like, please be my daughter. I want to raise you. I want you know, that's my daughter. I mean, we write music together. I'm so proud of her. And any guy who wants to date her, I'm gonna kill you, right? But I was getting that feeling again from an artist that I'm connecting with in a way. And it wasn't the music at first. I had yet to listen to one song. I listened to these people, these teens, these adults on that reaction channel, and I would like the Vanity Fair interview where, you know, she talked when she was 15, now she's talking at 16 and then 17 or something like that. Not just watching interview after interview after interview, and I'm getting to know this person. And I'm like, who is this person? And because you take her at face value, you look at her from just the book. You were looking at the book by the cover, and you're like, she's very pretty, but all I can see is her face. She's very pretty. So obviously she's not just a pretty face, because look at the way these people are talking about her, and look at how she carries and conducts herself. I just kept going, huh? And then I listened to them describe this song, that song, you know, and I'm like, and on the Teen React I'm watching, and I go, okay, then I have to go back. I have to backpedal. I said, okay, now I need to watch them react to her music. So the first time I heard her music today, which was today, I don't know the name of one song. I think Bad Boy or Bad something like that, or something about I wish you were gay, because, you know, the song is supposed, and I instantly got it the second I heard the lyrics. You know, you not paying attention to me, or you denying this thing that I want so bad would be this would make more sense in my mind, in my heart, if you were gay. It would totally make sense, but I know you're not, and this is why you're doing this to me. And there's a bunch of, you know, and it's an easy thing that people can hear and be like, oh, girl, just get over it. Because no, but she, without even explaining it, she's just talking about the problem and talking about how it made her feel. And she's talking about something that we've all done, a lot of us have done, to a certain extent. And it's just something as simple as just hearing the lyrics to a song, just the first verse or only a couple of words, and not even listening really to the song. You're listening to people listen to the song. You're watching people react to the song, and you're getting their take on it. This was my first introduction to Billie Eilish, sorry. And I'm like, I kept going like a dog, you know, like Jason Voorhees when he turns his head. Like, what is this? Because this isn't what's going on nowadays in music. And then I see another interview where she's totally acting like, because I'm like, this is an old soul, and she's deep, and this and that and the other. Then I see another interview and she's like talking with these hip hop artists, and she's, you know, doing, you know, just being silly and shit. I'm like, okay, but so. And in my mind, I'm like, my God, this is the one right here, because she is considered to some to be so, you know, deep and troubled, and her lyrics being beautiful, captivating. Her voice could be an emotion, an emotion in motion, and all these things. And then on top of that, kids her age are like, I totally connect with you, and she's fun and this and that and the other, and I see all of it. It's like Tupac in a way. Like, okay, now, okay, stop blogging before you start blogging. Like, what the hell did Chris just say? The way she's able to uniquely, organically, and what's the other word I'm looking for? Originally come up with something. And she's going to inspire change. Somebody was saying anti-pop. Like, okay, you can coin it like that. Maybe she coined it, or maybe she will adopt that. She like, yeah, like Michael Jackson, like King of Pop. Yeah, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yes, I never thought of it that way. I am the King of Pop. So maybe she'll be like anti-pop, and like she'll be like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, fuck yeah, mosh pit this bitch, right? Let's take pop, turn it on its head. Why shouldn't Lil Nan X be in the country music? Let's fucking do this, right? And I'm thinking like Lil Nas X ain't gonna inspire this change. He can inspire certain movements here and there, and this artist is gonna inspire this and that and the other. But you know, artists like who was the Beatle that died? Oh my God, with John Lennon and Bjork or something like that. You know, then Pac, Biggie, they're gonna inspire change. And I'm thinking, with the little attention span that this generation has, everybody's got their face glued to their phones and things like that. This young lady is writing songs like at the length that songs, you know, kind of need to be to get that message across, maybe. And like I said, it's subjective. I write songs that were I feel like I was born in the wrong generation, because I started writing songs when I was 15 that were short and stuff, and that would have fit perfectly here. But in the 90s, I sucked. I feel like if I would have started writing these songs, like, so, you know, if you want me to you want me to hear some of my songs and stuff, I got some hooks for you guys. I'll write. I think it'll work. But I'm like, this girl is going to inspire change. So I no longer think this generation is like doomed or anything like that. Or maybe she's opening the door to a new generation. I think maybe this level of pop and rap and country and all these, you know, wherever it's at right now, artists like her and the people that are inspiring her and that right now that are coming up on her level, the friends that she made, what's his name, from right here in Houston. Oh my man, I'm sorry, like, I don't listen to the new rap now, but I listen to this dude. He was on Saturday Night Live. What's his name? Astro World dude. You know, like artists like him, you know, are gonna inspire change. They are going to change things. And there's a new sound that's coming. And now I'm starting to listen to these songs. Like, just a few minutes ago, before I hit the record button on this thing, I'm like, I need to listen to these songs. And every song so far, like I said, like, I know Sleep to Dream, Shadow Boxer, The Crossroads, you know, Mo Murder, you know, For the Love of Money, First of the Month, you know, Carry On, you know, by Fiona Apple and Bone Thugs and Harmony. I was going back and forth. I don't know anything about Billie Eilish's music or her album or anything. I guarantee you, probably before the month is out, I probably will own, you know, everything that she's doing, everything that she's released, or definitely have it on my phone and listening to it while I drive, because like I said, I've been saying this for years. I probably am the equivalent of picture Bone Thugs and Harmony mixed with Fiona Apple. Now imagine that. Imagine if Fiona Apple was in the group Bone Thugs and Harmony, and her sound and her style infused with what they do and their style and what they do, and what kind of an amalgam of an artist that would be. To me, the closest I have ever seen that's connected to me on this level has just manifested and she's been out there for a long time, and this is the first time I'm ever hearing of her. And damn it, it was because of a damn puppy. A thumbnail of her getting her hair pulled or her hat pulled by a damn puppy. And I fell ass backwards into what I consider the equivalent of what I've been describing. The art of describing without describing. And the art of thinking without thinking. I fell right into it. And there she is. I found her. The equivalent of Bone Thugs and Harmony meets Fiona Apple. I feel like this is it. She kind of, and it also, there's like a lot of people that I think of when I see her, when how, you know, the images and the things that she portrays on camera, the creativity, and the thought that the process that it goes into, the simplest things that you, like a cup of black water and that she drinks and she cries, those like visual, it's. She could have easily just took that cup and thrown it against the wall and in slow motion like that would have been done in the 90s. She drinks that shit and cries that shit. Now that's my shit right there, right? Spider coming out of her mouth. You know, things like that. I mean, it reminded me a little bit like of Marilyn Manson videos and how those videos got at you, right? Prodigy, breathe with me. That alligator, that feel the pressure. Come play my game, I'll test ya. Psychosomatic elegance. And dude, I mean, even people like No Doubt, Gwen Stefani, man, artists over the years that have made a connection with me. Believe it or not, Maroon 5 is on this list. Tupac, Biggie, Bone. There's a few artists on this list, but I've yet to like Green Day. I've yet to find an artist who was the equivalent of that little connection that I've been saying for all these years. A. Marie is on my list as well. I have a bunch of artists that I feel who have inspired me over the years. And there's a long list, but I'm just calling them out as they hit my head. And for the first time, I think I found that Fiona Apple, Bone Thugs equivalent right there. And if there's any other artist that you think of that perfectly describes that, Bone Thugs and Harmony meets Fiona Apple, let me know. But I feel like I found her. And I cannot, Billie, I was introduced to you because of a damn puppy. Then I got to know you through your interviews and listening to your words, how you think, things that, you know, how things make you feel, how, you know, things in life are, you know, things that you're enjoying, the things that you are not enjoying so much, the things that you're struggling with, the things that you feel like you've accomplished and you're happy with. And now I'm getting to know your music, and so far I'm floored, and I cannot wait to hear more. I cannot wait to see where you go, and I wish you nothing but success. And I'm proud that I'm so happy that puppy drew me to your music, because I'm floored, and I can't wait to listen to it all. And it's because so far I haven't heard anything I have not enjoyed, and that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. So, guys, let me know what you guys think of Billie Eilish, and just give me your thoughts on my reaction, my review to her, and let's keep talking about this, guys. Until next time, hey. Whoa, hey, before I forget, I'm not even wearing the same clothes. Doesn't even matter. Move your magic. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. Like if you like, share if you care, comment for a compliment, subscribe to the tribe, and if you want to know more about how you can send me a message and be a part of We Got Your Mail, that's coming up right here. Check this out.